listening to Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes and Master Coach Jenny Fontana, founders of the Life Coach Method. Each one of our uplifting and deep dive episodes is geared to help you tackle the things that hold you back from having the most magnificent life you deserve. Sit back, relax, and prepare to be coached.
Hey everyone, Dr. Cali Estes with UnpauseYourLife.com and the Addiction Coach Online and creator of Sober On Demand and the Addictions Academy. I've got a secret for you today that I want to talk about, which is the crux of the Life Coach Method that my sister Jenny Fontana and I have created. And it is a surefire way to make anything happen. So get a pen, get a piece of paper, and write this down. I'll wait. No, really, get a pen and a piece of paper. This is really good. And no, you can't write it on your phone. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to draw a triangle. Just a triangle on your paper. And I want you to think about any life adventure you encounter. Work, kids, stress, whatever have you. At the top left-hand corner of your triangle on the outside, I want you to write circumstance. Circumstance, anything. Having to come into work early, the kids forgot their homework, the husband wants to know what's for dinner, whatever, circumstance. Now the pinnacle of your triangle, the very, very top, I want you to write the word feeling. So feeling, at the pinnacle top of your triangle. And at the bottom left-hand corner of your triangle, I want you to write the word thought. Thought. Thoughts pop into your head all the time, right? I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm lonely, I'm bored, this sucks. That's a thought. Or is it? Write thought. And in the bottom right-hand corner, I want you to write action. Action. And action is what you do, right? So you have circumstance off to the left, a feeling at the top of your triangle, thought bottom left, action bottom right, and then on the far right side, I want you to write outcome or consequence. Outcome or consequence. So let's roll it. A circumstance leads to a feeling, right? Something in your life happens and you have a feeling. That leads to a thought, which leads to an action, which leads to an outcome or a consequence, depending on what your action step is. So let's do something very simple first. Circumstance. My husband left the cap off the toothpaste. Feeling, I am irritated. Thought, I'm going to go yell at him. Action, I yell at my husband. Consequence, he doesn't speak to me for 2 days. That's a scenario, right? Let's run it a little differently. Circumstance, my husband left the cap off the toothpaste. Feeling, I'm irritated. Thought, I really love him, and in the broad scheme of things, the cap on the toothpaste really isn't that big of a deal. Action, I'll put it on myself. Outcome, we're going to dinner and having a good time. So, you cannot change the circumstance. You cannot change your feeling around the circumstance. What you can change is your thought. If you change your thought, you change your action. Now, if you're esoteric or empathic or ethereal, or you believe in energy and the law of attraction, that thought has a lot of freaking power. That thought dictates the next 2 steps and how your life travels. So you can take this very simple triangle and do it with very big things. Let's do something big. Circumstance, I lost my job. Feeling, oh shit, how am I going to pay the rent? Everything is falling apart. I'm going to be evicted. I'm going to lose my house. Blah, blah, blah. These are feelings. I'm sad, right? I'm sorry. Those are thoughts. Feeling, oh my God, panic. Thoughts, negative, 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 right? Watch it again. Circumstance, I lost my job. Feeling, oh shit. Thought, I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to lose my car. What am I going to do now? Etc., etc., etc. Those thoughts have power. You have now created negative thought process and put your brain in survival mode, which is the back half of your brain. That has now become everything. your actions now will come from the negative thought pattern. So your actions will be negative. They will be impactful. So instead of going from the feeling to the thought, you have to stop and say, what's the feeling? Oh shit, this is bad, right? Thought, hang on a second. I'm going to cancel that negative thought. That's some Jose Silva work for you. Cancel that negative thought, right? So feeling, oh shit, negative thought. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my car. I'm going to lose the house. What am I going to do? This is awful. Cancel all of it. Switch your thought. New thought, I'm going to get a better job. I'm going to get a better job that pays twice as much or 10 times as much or 20 times as much, whatever's realistic for you. It could even be $10 more. It's going to pay more than what I have now. And I'm going to be happier. That's the new thought. And it can be any thought. Maybe I'll start my own company. New thought. Now, what's your action? Different action step, isn't it? Because if your consequence is coming out the back end, it's either going to be negative or positive. Outcomes and consequences can be negative or positive. A negative consequence would be what? I lost my job, feeling is oh shit, thought everything's falling apart. Action step, I'm going to sell everything I own because I don't know what to do. Action step, I've lost everything and still have no job. However, if I change that thought pattern into all the possibilities of action, it changes everything. In my last podcast, I talked about how to manifest. And I said, it's not just intention. You see a lot of these TikTokers and pop psychology and parapsychology people going, oh my God, I just sat there and went, I cannot wait to have more money. And it just flew to me like a big magnet. Yeah, that's about 30% of what you need to do. That's not how it works exactly. So it's the intent first, followed by gratitude for what you have, followed by action. A lot of people miss the second and third step. They're not grateful for what they have, and they do not create an action plan. So in this triangle, it's important we do the action step or we're not going to have the outcome. So circumstance, I lost my job, feeling oh shit, thought, you know what? I'm going to get a better job, better working conditions, more pay, more benefits, or I'm going to start that company. Your action step is completely different than it would be if you threw in the towel and said, I can't do this, life's over. Completely different. That action step comes off the thought pattern. Now, generally what happens is people will get caught up in the negative thought. And they will say, okay, I have this negative thought, and they call it a ruminating thought, right? It's always in my head. Something bad is going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. And then you know what? Something bad happens, and they say, look, I told you that something bad was going to happen. That is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. So basically, you created that nonsense. That got created and born out of fear. So the feeling can be, oh shit, panic, but the thought cannot be fearful. The thought has to be, I got this. I'm going to do this. And this is how I'm going to do it. This is my action plan, followed by action steps actually happening. So that's how this works. You can change anything. You have the ability to create anything. A lot of people don't think that way. They say, oh my goodness, I work a 9 to 5. I go to work every day. This is all I have. This is all I'm going to do. I'm average. And I say, well, if you think you're average, you're average. But if you don't think you're average, guess what? Your action step will be completely different. If your thought is, I'm average, I'm happy with my job, I'm happy with my husband, and I'm okay not making money, and I don't want to travel, and I don't want to do those things, then your action steps will reflect that. But you've heard the term hustle. Hustle comes from I can do more thought, followed by an action of watch me do it. That's why people who are in the top 1%, my clients, the top performers, are completely different than you. They are different because their thought is I'm unstoppable. It doesn't necessarily mean they have more money and more resources. I work with clients that had no money that started a company. I had 6 companies. I started all 6 with less than $300 in my bank account. I made 6, 7, and 8 figures. Why? My thought patterns are different. I didn't come from money. My parents were poor. My father never graduated high school. My stepfather never graduated high school. And my mother had the same job right out of high school in the film file room, filing film for the hospital. They had no resources. They never left the town they were born in. They didn't pay for my college education, say, here's your car, or hey, here, let's meet some people that have money so you learn. I literally had nothing when I packed my car up and left at 19. So, how is that possible? It's possible not because of luck, it's possible because of thought pattern. I've been homeless twice, and my thought pattern has been, how am I going to make this better? How am I going to get out of this? My circumstances, I lost everything in a fire, and I lost my company in 2008 in the economic downturn. My feeling was, oh shit. I lost all my cars, I lost all my houses, I lost my bank account, I lost my company, everything. Here I am in a house with no running water, no heat in Philadelphia in winter with nothing. Thought, how am I going to rebound? What does this look like? What new company can I create? How do I get out of this situation? Followed by action. Let's put an LLC together. Let's put a website together. Let's start marketing. Let's figure it out. That's the difference. If you want to be successful at anything in life, you have to change your thought. Your feeling is completely valid. So when you have a feeling, whether it's sadness, happiness, anger, joy, frustration, say to yourself, your feeling is valid. You have a right to feel this way. But your thought is the difference. What your next thought is changes the game. If your thought is, I can't handle this, I'm overwhelmed, I'm going to get high, your action is getting high, your outcome is you're high. You're now a drug addict. Congratulations. If your thought is, I'm going to lay in bed because I'm depressed, I can't handle this, your action is laying in bed, you get nothing done, your outcome is nothing gets done and it gets worse. Congratulations. Your feeling is valid. Your thought is what you change. So, I teach this in the Life Coach Method. I also teach this in the Coach Me courses on Unpause Your Life when we do the deep dives and how to restructure your brain. You literally have to change everything you think to become successful. Every time a negative thought enters your head, say cancel, cancel. That's Jose Silva. It's amazing stuff. Negative thought, I can't do it. Cancel, cancel. Yes, I can. Negative thought, someone else is going to tell me that I can't have this. Cancel, cancel. Yes, I can. And if you're looking at somebody for a specific thing, like let's say you're applying for a job and you go in and you don't get hired, that's okay. Don't throw the towel in and go, oh my God, no one wants to hire me. Stop and think, what else can I do? How can I think outside the box? What are my other options? What things can be done as opposed to what's happening right here? That's what you want to do. That's where people fail. They don't think outside the box. They don't think, what other options do I have? Why am I stuck in this situation? You're never stuck in a situation. That's my big thing. I've always said you're never stuck. All you have to do is think your way out of the situation. What does that mean? It means you don't panic. Or panic, let it roll, and then get into thought process. That's all you have to do. That's where people get stuck. They're not thinking clearly. They're coming from a point of survival, which is the back of the brain. You cannot create when the back of your brain is in survival mode, especially if you're barely making it paying the bill. So if you're running to work, putting in a full day, running to the grocery store, coming home, picking up the kids, making dinner, feeding the dog, walking the dog, cleaning the house, going to bed and doing it again, you're in survival mode. You're not going to create from survival mode. You can't. Your brain won't allow it. You have to have a clear-headed brain to do that. That takes time, that takes energy, that takes effort, and that takes clarity. But you can't do that from a point of survival. You have to literally have somebody help you get out of survival mode. Or change your thought. How am I going to make this better? How can I make this easier? What are my options? What options do I have to make things change? What thoughts can I think? And if you don't have options, thoughts are ways around what you have. How does it work? What can I do? What are my options? What can I think about that will change things? This is where you can get with somebody else and bounce ideas. Here's where I'm stuck. What do you think? And get people to give you ideas on what you're stuck in. Where am I stuck? What's the problem? How do I get around it? That's the thought. Big corporations have think tanks. And in that think tank, it's all thought. Here is our circumstance. Here is what we need to figure out. Then we think. Then we roll ideas. That is the triangle. Then we take action, and then we have an outcome. It's that simple. So try using this the next time you're stuck on something or have a problem, or something comes into your life and you go, oh crap, I feel weird about that. What's my thought? How am I going to do this? How am I going to make this play successful? And roll it. So remember, circumstance leads to a feeling. Feelings are valid. Validate your feelings. I have a right to be pissed off. Absolutely. Thought, I'm going to do this. Action, actually doing that thing. And that changes everything. That changes your outcome and your consequence. Start doing that. Check out the Life Coach Method on unpauseyourlife.com. Check out Coach Me and Certify Me. These are things I teach if you want to learn for yourself or you want to help others learn and be able to offer services such as coaching and law of attraction for your clients and make money helping other people. I can teach you how to do this, and it's on unpauseyourlife.com. So if you have any questions, reach out and start using this.
Thank you for listening to Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes and Master Coach Jenny Fontana. Head over to www.thelifecoachmethod.com to learn more about coaching yourself and how to become a master coach.